Hi everyone, today I have an encouraging word to you from the great outdoors. I want to share with you the verse that this morning made me pause and I needed to understand it better. And when I finally understood it, I knew exactly how I needed to share it with you to encourage you because this is how it helped me and it actually has to do with the great outdoors. Now, please note, this is the 2026 freeze cold thing that came into the US. So I'm not a normal snow walker. So if I slip and fall during this recording, it's because I am normally from the West Coast. But so here is the lesson. The Lord said in his word, Paul spoke it and said, work out your salvation. Now, I didn't understand what work out means because we understand that we received salvation free. It is grace. It is given. It's there to grab. It's a free gift. Now, what do you mean work out? Okay. When I had to dig into the original language to find out what that means, it actually means to bring about, to claim it in full. Now, I totally know what that means, and that's the reason we are outside. We're outside because when we bought this property, we have the deed to this property. But let me tell you, to enjoy this property in full, we had to bring it about. I'm going to just show you a little bit about what the bringing about was. So behind me, if you see all of this clearer land, meaning there aren't bushes, there isn't a whole bunch of poison ivy, all that, we had to bring about. By the way, when I say this, I literally mean it. I have scars from thorns, from briars, the whole shebang. We had to bring it about. We literally needed to work out this property so that we can enjoy it. Otherwise, let me show you what it looks like when you don't work it out. We have the property, but we can't enjoy this portion of the property because it is still filled with briars. It is still filled with dead branches. It is filled with things that have overgrown and are dangerous, and even going in there, by the way, leaves room. It truly leaves room for things that, let's say at night, you don't want to walk through there because you don't know what's there. So I want to show you what I mean by this is what work it out. And this is how I believe we spiritually need to be working out our salvation, claiming in full something that God already gave us. And it requires actually working it out. And when I say working, when the Lord explained this verse to me this morning, I really understood. Let me show you what unworked out property looks like. Now, this is all overgrown trees, everything that we need to work out. And now you watched me walk a couple moments ago through some cleared out, worked out land. Now you're gonna watch me walk through some non-worked out land because it is not pretty. It is not pretty at all. Maybe at the top it's pretty, but let me tell you, when it comes to how much poison oak can grow on these trees, and I call it tree deliverance because they are suffocated, absolutely suffocated with ivy, with briars. If you think I'm joking, let me show you. That's not even bad. Like, look at this. I mean, I hope I captured that for you, but that's not even the bad stuff. Like, we haven't even gotten into the really bad stuff. But I want you to understand, this is what it means to work out your salvation. The Lord already gave you salvation. You are walking in the freedom that He's offered for you. But now you need to know how to get in there and clean and prune and pluck and cut and remove things that don't align with his kingdom. By the way, let me just show you a piece that I believe, since I'm already out here, is very important to show you, because most of us don't understand that not only we think that our salvation, yes, it is granted, but when you live on this earth and you're dealing with forces on this earth, you don't want them to have a home in your property. Not just that, you don't want them to have easy access to your property. You need to establish, what do we know? Gates, fence. Yeah, let's look at this fence here that, may I add, my family would be my husband and my 2 boys. It took us 3 months to install this fence by ourselves, so trust me, I know what it means to install a fence, not only from the planning, but also from the pruning. We literally had to cut alongside, and there were trees in the way. It was a lot of work. There was a lot of complaining. There was so much work to do. We were losing animals, ducks, geese, goats were being eaten by coyotes and predators. And we got out. It took 3 months to do this around the property. Now let me show you. Ever since we did this and established this fencing, not one animal was lost. I'm not kidding. Not one animal has died. No predator made it through anymore. And this is not a fancy fence, but I want to show you. This fence exists. It's pretty tall because it's a gate. We keep what shouldn't belong out and what should belong in. This is something that you and I need to do spiritually. And the only place you can establish a fence, a gate, is when you know the property line. And all of that, anybody in this day and age knows you cannot do anything and plant any property line without what? Legal documents to know for sure, is that my property? Where is the line? What am I allowed to do? This is where you and I need to remember to have grace. When somebody puts in their property line closer than actually is drawn, they're doing it just to have security measures. Remember when Paul says, do not judge those who do not eat. Do not judge those who eat, because you don't know. You're not the one that's made there to measure. It is God and God alone, and his word and the understanding of his word that gives you the freedom to stretch out your marking where it is legal, because it requires legal documents, where it is legal and what is truly yours. So, I hope you understand. Some of you get discouraged when you have to continuously battle and fight something that you thought was already won when you came to the Lord. Well, my friends, that still has to be worked out right there. But it's my property. It's still mine. But if I want to enjoy that space, I have to get in there and work it out. I hope you understand that just because you've got salvation in your hand doesn't mean that every part of you has been worked out for the Lord and surrendered. You will have to work it out. You will have to pull, cut, pluck, trim, the whole shebang. And you definitely want to place your gate. You definitely want to establish where your markers are. And that is all drawn out by the word of the Lord. That's when you know where your space is, what belongs to you. And when the enemy comes encroaching on your property, you know legally you stand. You have no fear to command the enemy, get back in the name of Jesus Christ. This is mine. That's where the boldness comes from. But you must know your word. Be blessed.